welcome to Discovery Drama's Masterclass podcast. That's a bit of a mouthful. Today I'll be having a chat to Canadian theatre practitioner Jenny McDonald, who will be facilitating our next masterclass on Augusto Boal's Forum Theatre in November 2024. Jenny and I chat about her journey into theatre and drama, what Forum Theatre is, how it originated, as well as some insight into what to expect on the day.
Hello.
Hello, Jenny. How are you?
I am great. How are you?
Yeah, I'm going good. I'm
I'm gonna have a video up here. I know we're not on video, but just
Yeah, just so I can see your lovely face. Here, I might as well reveal myself too.
reveal yourself.
Yeah, I'm in the shed, live from the shed in Harold's Cross.
I love it. I love it.
Yeah,
It's great.
Jenny, thank you so much for having taken the time out of your day to have a little chat with me. So I know you're a busy lady, and more than likely anybody who's listening to this is probably running for a bus or, running to looking after kids or doing something. So they're probably in a hurry too. Everything's a terrible hurry nowadays. But
That's the truth. That is the
yeah,
truth.
but I just wanted to take a little bit of time just to introduce you to the students in Discovery Drama. And so Jenny McDonald, so I came across you long time ago. I attended one of your workshops in the Civic with Sarah Fitzgibbon. And I was really struck at that time. I was like, I'm working a long time in the theatre and I have never met this girl, and she has such a fantastic, caring energy. Why haven't I met her before? And I wanted to work with you there and then. And then another mutual friend of ours, Joanna Parks, also has worked with both of us and had great praise for you. So then I thought it would be lovely to get in touch with you. And then I discovered that you have some expertise in Augusto Boal. So, but before we start now, just Jenny to introduce. So how long are you living in Ireland now? How long are you here?
Oh, so it's been 20 years on and off. I had in that first 10 years, I had a lot of time in London and near Paris as well. I lived with a circus in Orléans as well. But I kept coming back to Ireland. All roads kept leading back to Dublin or Derry. So
Yeah,
I was based over here. I'm from Canada originally, but I have been based over here for about 20 years now.
that is amazing. And tell me about your relationship with the theatre, Jenny, and drama. How did you catch the bug, as they say?
How did it? Yes. Well, one story my mom always tells, because I was the fifth child and everyone else is very sporty. So my mom started taking me to all these sport places like the skating rink and the swimming pool. And I was always kind of looking for how I could end up doing the sport, but with a costume and makeup and music. So I was like, oh, can we do figure skating? Can we do synchronized swimming? And then my mom was like, oh, this is a different breed. I've got a
What can I
different
do
breed
with
of
this
child
girl?
here.
Yeah.
Yes, so fortunately for her and me, and probably fortunately for the whole family, we found something called the Young People's Theatre, which is right downtown in Toronto. And it's probably a similar kind of a vibe to something like Dublin Youth
It
Theatre.
sounds
There'd
like
be
that.
young
Yeah,
people,
yeah. I
yeah,
was
from all
W
over the
theatre.
city.
Yeah.
And yeah, so that was a great place because I got to do really everything from like Shakespeare to devised original stuff.
Mhm.
Um, and I think once I kind of got in there, I really had that, that expression of like you find your tribe. Like I
Yeah.
really was like, oh, this is where. So I used to go down there every Saturday. I said down there because it's right downtown, so that was kind
Yeah.
of exciting too.
Yeah.
And it was every Saturday, and that was really kind of my bliss. I was always like, I wonder if there's a way you could do this every day, not just Saturday.
Oh yeah. I know. I know. I felt the same way too. I just
Yeah,
loved it.
yeah.
And so now, Jenny, so what do you do? What are the jobs that you do? How do you work in theatre and drama, like as a profession?
Yeah.
What do you do?
Yeah. So I guess I have two main kind of streams to my practice. So one is that I write and perform my own work. So at the moment, the show that I'm performing is called Tightrope Walker. And I also do a lot of facilitating and directing, and that's generally with community groups. And so I have a real focus on people who maybe might not imagine them. It might not, might feel nervous about like calling themselves an artist, although I really firmly believe we're all very, very creative and we're all artistic in our own ways. But yeah, helping people who maybe don't identify specifically as an artist, but they have something they want to say, they have a story they want to tell, and I would work with them
Yeah.
to tell their stories as a piece of theater. So that means I work with all kinds of different groups, like with young people, with women's groups. I've also started now a collective called Solo Sirens, and we're in residence at the Civic. And we look at where so-called professional practice and so-called community engaged practice where they meet and how actually maybe they're more similar and both than we might assume, and how both of those practices
Absolutely.
can really learn and grow from one
Yeah,
another.
and that sounds a little bit like, well, what we're doing in Discovery Drama is just that. It's about bringing drama to people who wouldn't say they're professional artists, but they have a great
Yeah.
interest and passion,
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
spreading it around and sharing the love. There's so
Exactly,
much
exactly. Because
to
anybody
gain.
can do it, can't they? Anybody can do it. Anybody can enjoy it.
Yeah,
And it's just about, holding the space to bring the best out of all of us.
absolutely. You said it lovely. And then Augusto Boal. So I tell you a little bit. So I know a tiny bit about Augusto Boal. So he definitely has influenced my practice. And I don't know if I said this to you, but I actually met him in the 90s when I was studying drama in Trinity. He came in and did a workshop with our class, and he was incredible. Such
Mm,
a mesmerizing man, and
yeah,
just a great energy and passion. And I've read some of his books. So that's how I became interested in Augusto Boal. And his work is so simple. It's just so
yeah.
transformative, and so powerful. Like it's it's really a wonderful way to use expression and theatre for change.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Yeah.
How did you come across Boal, or how did you become interested?
Yeah, so I read a book of his in college, and I remember being really, really fascinated, thinking, oh, this is just a slightly different approach to theater than I've seen before. It was all about street theater and visible theater and political theater. I got really excited about it. It made so much intuitive sense to me that theater can be about change. So theater can reflect reality, but it can also transform and create reality. And I found that idea really, really exciting. So people may or may not know Augusto Boal was Brazilian. I think he began his career in the 1950s. And similar to you, I got to meet him at
Did you?
Trinity in the year, I believe it was 2007. It was 2 years before his death. So I felt really, really fortunate.
Okay.
And I had a week-long class with him there with other
Wow.
theater practitioners. And as you say, I mean, just his skill as practitioner, as an artist, but then his warmth
Yeah.
and humanity
Mm-hmm.
and this belief he has that everybody can be more than they think that they
Mm-hmm.
can.
Mm-hmm.
And I love his activities because they really step by step guide people to do more than they might have thought was possible. And I think that's so
Absolutely.
beautiful. I remember him saying in that course, no one has to be better than anybody else. You just have to be better than yourself. Just each day, a bit more of you on the planet, just a bit more of what you have to
Yeah.
give and your unique gift.
Yeah.
So yeah, finding him in college, I remember reading the book and thinking this is amazing.
Yeah.
And then it was actually when I came to Ireland, I met a really great practitioner, Orla Hassan. He's based in Donegal now. And Orla was very passionate about Boal. So we created a forum theater performance together. And forum theater is one of the things we'll explore in the workshop. It's one of his methods, a
Okay.
really exciting method that is about what he calls rehearsal for reality. It's about
Mm.
crying out ways you might live differently and that might be more empowered for you and more beneficial for you and for others. So it's
Yeah.
exciting work.
Lovely, lovely. So just in terms of the day, like, so someone's coming in, they've listened to this, so they already know a little bit about Augusta Boal, and they're just, just brand new in the door. I'd imagine that we'll have lots of games to start. Would that be right, Jenny?
Absolutely, absolutely. So one of his great books is called Games for Actors and Non-Actors, and it's a
Yeah.
great title because ultimately what he says in the book is, look, you're all actors.
Yeah.
These are just labels. So we'll start with a lot of games. So lots of physical fun, laughter, kind of chance to shake off nerves, chance to get comfortable in the
Yeah.
room, get comfortable with each other. And then from there, we'll move into something he calls image theater, which is about communicating ideas, exploring words, concepts, ways that we're living through the physical body
Yeah.
and through the expressiveness of the body. But we'll get there step by step. We won't just, so no one should worry about like, oh, I don't know if I'm a physical person, because the beauty of Boal work is like he's got a great scaffold. So you're kind of doing it before you realize you're even doing it. So we'll get into image theater. And then we'll share some stories that'll help us create some forum theater scenes. And as I said, forum theater is where you explore a problem, you explore a situation where you just don't know what to do, and you explore it through theater, and you get to try lots of different approaches. So it's improvisational. Everybody who wants to can have a try, but it's also important to have some people observing and feeding back. So it's a chance to explore several of his methods in one day, but it will be energetic. It will be fun. A lot of his work is quite serious. It goes into quite serious places. But another thing I love about his philosophy is that play
There's
is
so much.
fundamental.
It's so playful.
Yeah.
It's so
Yeah.
playful.
So playful.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
it's not.
And we need that as adults. I think, even those of us in the arts, we don't play enough. So we got to
Totally.
play.
That's it, exactly. And that is what discovery drama is all about. Because, when I was starting it, people were saying, oh, why don't you do something for young people? I says, young people get a lot. It's
That's
for us
right.
older people that we carry around so many things in our heads that we need time to play. There's too much seriousness and too
Yes.
much time spent at laptops.
That's
So,
it. For
Jenny,
sure.
that sounds lovely. And, I am so lucky. I'm going to be there and I'll be there
Yay!
to support you
I'm
on the
delighted.
way. And
Delighted.
it's such a privilege that for me to have you there and for you to be our guest on the day. And I'm absolutely certain that everybody's going to walk out of that room delighted, 6 foot tall, if you're not already. So
Great.
thank you so
Great.
much, Jenny, for your time and enjoy the rest of your evening.
Thank you so much.
Not at all. Lovely to talk to you.
See you
Bye,
soon.
Jenny.
Yeah, you too. Bye
Bye-bye.
bye bye.